Okay, so we were starting it off with the New Age series. So please welcome fashion journalist Jeanne Beker. Yes.
Hey, hi. Wow.
I love this series. I love this series.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
Thank you so much. The amount of response I'm getting from this series, Jeanne, is making me feel so happy. It's something I think a lot of our viewers have been waiting for. So you've been talking to women, all different ages, all different backgrounds, and having really frank conversations about aging in today's society. Tell me who your next guest is.
My next guest is light personified. She is an incredibly beautiful woman who I've been lucky enough to know for probably over 20 years. I met Tosca Reno when I was actually a spokesperson for a series of big gyms that were opening around Ontario. And Tosca and her husband at that time were also spokespeople for this gym, and I was blown away by her physicality, first of all, because she is just, wow, what a specimen. She was a bodybuilder at one point, and she's just a great fitness expert. But because she has such spiritual roots, and she has such a compassion and understanding of the human condition, and she's just an incredible person, and I can't wait to introduce her to all of you here.
I'm excited about this because I'm a longtime fan. Oxygen magazine is the magazine that she was always on the cover of, published by her former husband. So we're going to have a look at Jeanne's interview with New York Times bestselling author and founder of the Eat Clean Revolution, Tosca Reno.
What would you tell your younger self now that you have all this, life wisdom?
Believe a lot earlier than you did, girl. Believe. Because I really didn't believe in myself. That's why I was a late bloomer. I mean, I didn't start my fitness career or anything until I was 40. I competed for the first time at 42, oxygen cover at 43, so I've really done it all late in life. But thank God I showed up.
Do you ever worry about, losing it or getting old or not really looking as, fabulous as you think you once did?
Oh, well, I don't, clearly. I mean, there was a day that I was on the cover of Oxygen magazines with a six-pack. Now I think I have a four-pack.
I'd put you on the cover of my magazine, honey. I don't know.
But I realized that I'm not chasing my past life. I realize that I'm walking forward into a new self. And to let go of the past and all those things that I used to be, so I can walk forward to the greatest thing that I can be still.
When you look in the mirror every day, what do you think?
Now I can say, I love you, but it took a long time. I think the last 10 years have really taught me that. I had this incredible ride, Jeanne. I had all the acclaim that you can imagine, millions of books sold, etc. And then that chapter of my life, the darker chapter, 2011, when my stepson died, and then a year later, my husband, my true love, and then a year after that, bankrupting the business. I think I had to be cut down at the knees in order to understand the message that was really being asked of me. And I could have ignored it, but I chose to open my heart and understand what is the meaning of this happening to me, why, and what can I learn from this? Because obviously I attracted some of it to myself, but what gave me hope was practicing spirituality, understanding meditation. These were things I never did before. Meditation, who has time for that? But now I don't start a day without it. So meditation, journaling, and coming fully into my purpose, which I think the human purpose is to be a vessel of light. And we get light through love and knowledge. And you provide that with your work, and that's what I strive to do as well.
How do you explain the fact that you're still standing, still doing push-ups and weightlifting and everything else?
Yeah, well, I think for me, physical movement is medicine. I found so much healing in being able to move my body. If there's a holy grail to live by, it's eating clean, exercise, and emotional self-care, and I lead with exercise.
Is this a realization that came to you with age? Or not that you have aged that much. I mean, you're really you're way younger than me.
No,
but
I just turned 64.
I just turned 71.
Girl!
Ah. A lot of us get locked into these images of the way we were, and when
Yes.
you can't live up to that, which of course you can't, you never can, you never
Exactly.
even should. Like, who wants to live in the past, really?
No.
But I think a lot of us get hung up on that, the images of our younger selves.
Jeannie, you know what? I think younger women my age, women your age, I'm really getting emotional, but we need people like you. We need to follow healthy leaders. There are very few role models who can guide us. And I'm constantly seeking who those people are, those women, so that I can follow in their footsteps in a small way and maybe lead in some way by example too for others. And I can't do that trying to be an Oxygen cover girl anymore. I'm just not her.
I was reading something interesting lately that Jane Fonda had said about,
God bless her,
she's an
right?
icon
Yes.
for us all. And she was saying how the older she gets, it's almost as though the more in demand she's getting, or people are, I guess because hopefully, there's this new attitude towards age, and it's like, wow, you're the age that you are, and you look so great, and everyone, wants a little piece of her in that way. Have you found that the older you're getting, the easier certain things are coming to you, or do you have to fight a little bit harder?
No, it's easier because I've learned how to say no. But when I see what's happening, for example, in Sports Illustrated, where you've got Mae Musk and you've got Martha Stewart on the cover, look at their ages. These women, they're almost like my beacon saying, we did it, you can do it too. I have a great deal of respect for being the mom, and so now the matriarch in my family. I lost my mother a couple of months ago, and I have 4 daughters who are young adults, and I know you have 2 beautiful daughters too, and it feels to me like I have an obligation to show up the best that I can. I know my mother at 64 was not swinging a 50-pound kettlebell around, but I'm doing it, and I love it. I love the feeling, and that's why I think I stick with it. It's just a good feeling.
Trying to hold it together after that one. What an emotional, incredible interview. Jeannie, well done. And please welcome Tosca Reno. Let's hug it out. Oh my God. How did that feel watching that?
I was having trouble holding it together.
My goodness.
So beautiful.
You have been through it, and I mean, there's so many things we could discuss. But I want, what I really felt in that was after losing your mom and you see yourself now, you are the matriarch. Yes. You've got these beautiful girls. I used to see them in the magazine all the time. 4 of them.
Yes, 4.
4 daughters. And you are the one that are setting an example for them, really, as you age and you are so invested in your spirituality and your health and your fitness. Why is it important for you to live the way you live?
It's important because it's literally become part of my DNA, and my DNA is my light. And for me to be a light, even just to myself, is important. That's how I get out of bed every day, is to be within the greatest possibilities of my existence, which is here inside of me. And if I can do that, then I can take my girls with me, and they may struggle and they may falter. But if mama has it together and can still be light, even when she's struggling, then they'll see that there's an opportunity for them too, and that life can be hard, but we can still make it. So I really step fully into that, whatever it may bring me. Oh.
Bless you. That is such a good lesson. One thing that I really started thinking about when I'm watching your tape is that I don't try and hit anyone over the head with the message of how I live my life. You can see it and you can follow it if you want, but I'm never going to tell you what you should do. I'll never tell you how to be a better parent. I'm never going to tell you what you should be doing in your marriage. I'll never tell you what you should be eating. I'm never going to be an expert in those areas. But when my kids, both on 2 separate occasions, said to me, my son said to me, Mom, I'd like to start going to the gym with you. I was like, It was like, he might as well have told me he got accepted to Harvard. I was like,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
When my daughter said, Mommy, could we start running at the track? I know you go in the morning with the dog. Can I come with you?
Yeah.
I was like, they have been watching me. They've been watching me at 120 pounds. They've been watching me at 200 pounds, but they've been watching me move no matter what is happening in my life. And that's a beautiful thing to be a role model in that respect. You know, like it's a...
100%.
I take that very seriously. Lots of trials and tribulations in your story, and Jeanne, you've been through it as well. I want to talk about when you've got the whole life laid out, you're doing incredible in life, and things happen, and you're in mid-age, you're in middle age, and things happen that you have not planned for, that you did not expect. Talk to me about how you carried yourself through some of the bumps in your journey.
Well, the first time I got hit by a Mack truck, quite unexpectedly, I was just on the verge of turning 45, which is a very vulnerable time in a woman's life, I think. And my husband announced that he was leaving. And that was like, what? Because I thought I had the perfect marriage and I had the perfect life. And how could this be? And we had 2 little girls and, you know, was it just game over? But I kept going. Somehow I found it within myself to get up, and I did one foot in front of the other and I kept going. And then everything was fabulous, ups and downs, but okay. Then I fell madly in love at the age of 63, and that was really fabulous. And then at the age of 70, I was diagnosed with cancer. So again, it's like, you know, where do you go from there? But you just keep going. And I think that's one thing that we learn throughout our lives, that we're a lot stronger than we give ourselves credit for sometimes.
100%.
And we just keep going.
What do you pull on, though? What are you attached to? What keeps you going? What's the motivation for you, Jeanne?
The love of life,
Yeah.
the love of my children, first
Yeah.
of all, that's a really big one. Just the love of my work. For me, it's
Yes.
work. I just, you know, keep on with that. Thank God I can, and you know, things are coming fast and furious, and I absolutely love it. And I just love dancing, and I dance as fast as I can.
Yes.
Even around the bedroom sometimes, just for workout purposes.
That's the best place to dance, if you ask me. Okay, Tosca, I want to talk a little bit about the amount of acceptance. We've been talking about acceptance quite a bit in this whole series. Yeah. You need a lot of acceptance to understand, to not be shocked when you look in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm not that girl anymore. Things changed. The shock will take you out, I find, even with parenting, when your kids start speaking to you differently. Yeah. You can't get sucked in by the shock. You sort of have to have radical acceptance and then deal with the situation as is. Because if you start getting wrapped into the shock, I find you get very indignant and you start pushing back against it. So talk to me a little bit about how you find that acceptance, because you seem to have nailed the acceptance. You're like, I am not the cover girl anymore, and that's okay. I'm in a different stage in my life.
So why I'm so ready to embrace, let go of, or surrender to that past of myself is because I've learned to love every version of myself, from small child to growing up at 87 Sunset Boulevard to first husband through second. I've learned to love all of those iterations of myself. But I also love the person I'm becoming. Yeah. And so some of the toughest sets and reps of my life have been in this last decade, and they have contributed to me becoming a greater self. And I'm excited to know her and be her and be here. I think I'm here because I'm willing to let go of those things that were. And I don't want my past to cement me to the past. I want to be that expression of my future to the fullest.
But you still keep yourself in such great shape. I mean, and that's the motivation that this woman has to keep on doing that.
Yes.
That's what I find so hard to keep up with.
It's easy, it's just joy. I love to move.
It's the joy of it all. And we're actually going to get working out a little bit with Tosca after the break. So stay tuned for that, everyone. We're going to break.